to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane. Get ready to throw. What you drinking? Fun random shit. Dramatic readings, you'll love every bit. Big Ass Cornhole, tune in now with Sean and Dane. They'll show you how. Weekly guests and laughs, cornhole fame. Cornhole it, join the game. Interviews and random quests. Cornhole champs and all the best. We hope you throw it straight and have no doubt. It's four baggers from here on out. Big Ass Cornhole, tune in now. With Sean and Dane, they'll show you how. Oh, weekly guests and laughs. Cornhole fame. Cornhole it. Join the game. Join the game.
Up and coming is the Big Ass Cornhole Open. Guys, we've been chatting it up every week. There's still spots available. So if you want to join and squad up and come out to the first ever Top Golf and Cornhole joint tournament on September 21st, head on over to harddragpush.com. Right on the header page, you will see the Big Ass Open tab. Click it, sign your squad up. Sean, what is the due date for the payouts or for payment?
End of July.
End of July.
Yeah.
Okay, so hurry up, get your squad together. We're heading into the fourth here, so you gotta squad up, get it ready to go. Once again, it's teams of 4. It's $100 a person, $400 for the team if you can do your math. Includes 2 hours of Top Golf, a light breakfast, lunch, as well as a cornhole rounders crew cup tournament. And payouts for all components of that, as well as an overall victor.
Beers will be flowing.
Beers are flowing.
If that's not your thing, then non-alcoholic beverages are free that day as well.
Free of charge.
It's a family event.
Yes.
So if you're like, the wife's just giving me shit, like, bring the kids.
Yeah, bring them.
the
It's
kids.
Top Golf, guys.
It's
like,
family
again,
golf.
We have
Hell
it
yeah.
we have the facility until noon, so you can go off and play cornhole while your wife and kids go and play some Top Golf.
And if you're interested in for a bunch of people just kind of seeing your business and you want to advertise, or if you would like to sponsor the event, reach out to us.
please reach out.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. We have a whole sponsorship deck waiting for your hands. So once again, September 21st, get your squad together for the Big Ass Open. It's going to be a blast. Come join the fun. And Draggin Bags is here to save your game because it's certainly helped us. So why don't you jump on the train and up that PPR by heading over to dragginbags.com and grab your heat today.
We're throwing a whole bunch.
That we were. I mean, there's not a bag that I don't like that they make, so it's always a pleasure to open up my bag.
You have the Nexus
bag
roll,
and have,
nice.
dude. Nexus roll is very nice for me, and all in all, I mean, that Power Dragon's still my bread and butter. Like,
Yeah.
I love that bag. It's so drippy and beautiful. So once again, if you want to make your game just that much better, head over to dragginbags.com. Get your stuff today, and again, be on the lookout for those sweet Spencer McKenzie drops.
Are you looking to elevate your cornhole game to the next level? Well, look no further than Black Sheep Baggers, where quality meets innovation. Whether you're a casual player or a seasoned pro, we have everything you need to dominate the boards. You got premium cornhole bags, so why settle for ordinary when you can play with the best? Join the Black Sheep Baggers family today. Experience the thrill of cornhole like never before. Whether you're gearing up for backyard fun, tournaments, tailgating parties, regionals, nationals, world championships, we got you covered. Go to blacksheepbaggers.com, use code BIGASP, and you're going to save yourself a lot of freaking money.
Cash money.
Hey there, cornhole enthusiasts and backyard champions. Are you ready to take your game to gnarly new heights?
Yeah.
Well, Gnarly Bags, where we craft the raddest cornhole boards in all of the land.
Tubular.
In all of the land. All right. So if you grab your Gnarly Bags, you can also grab your gnarly boards at gnarlybags.com, because Gnarly Bags, we believe in bringing the fun, because cornhole isn't just a game, it's a lifestyle.
Damn Skippy.
So go to gnarlybags.com, use code BIGASP, and you're going to save yourself some money for the best boards in the biz.
Last but not least, head over to Big D Bags and grab your girth today. Sometimes you need 2 hands to throw them. They're so beautiful. So head over to Big D, some of the greatest designs, best bags, ACO stamped.
Someone would say crafted with precision.
Very much so.
With tender hands.
Yeah, with precision and not too veiny. So head
Not
over to
too veiny.
bigdbags.com, grab yourself a set today, and get ready to grab the girth.
Code BIGASP10 to save yourself 10% off your order.
Wow.
Damn.
10%.
Or I'm sorry, $10 off
$10.
your order. $10.
$10.
$10 off your order. Big Asp 10. Welcome back to the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. So it's no secret that we're one of the more popular cornhole podcasts, right? But we have not been to the biggest.
Why are you lying?
All right, well,
Come on now.
we're the best.
I know we are the best.
We haven't been to the biggest cornhole tournament in the world.
Very
And
true.
There's been plans of us trying to make this tournament. Something always comes up, but I think I announced on the show 2 weeks ago. It's official, man. I booked the flights. We got
Hang on, it's time.
travel.
Can I do it?
Yeah, please go ahead. It's like an exclusive. All right, so we booked our flights, man. We're going out to California. We're hitting up the Throwdown for the first time. So we thought it was no more perfect of an episode. All right, time to start building the hype for this big event, then bringing on the man behind all this action. All right, so joining us right now is Mr. John Karayan. What's going on, man?
It's going good. How you guys doing?
Good, man. Good. So
the biggest podcast in cornhole. Let's fact check. How many followers on your podcast?
On Facebook, I think we have just some with like 13,000 or something like that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we do.
Which I mean, we've been doing it long enough that I feel like people.
The secret is we've
kinda
just been
know who
around
we
the
are.
longest now.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like, you know what I mean? If
We
you
just we stood the test of time. And
you just keep showing up, you know what I mean? People, I guess, just kind of like, all
people
right,
are
just keep-
thirsty for content, so
Yeah,
they'll just come dip their toes in.
So I'm excited to have you on. Like I said, we were talking off air. I remember your interview when you were on the Dogcast. This had to be probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Who?
Yeah, I know.
I had to bring
Yeah,
it back.
well done.
I had to bring it back.
But it's always been one of those. You've always been like a guy that I've had in the back of my head that like I wanted to bring you on, but I wanted to wait till we were going to get to go out there because I didn't want it to be like a tease.
Yeah.
Like you promote this event right in front of my face and I don't even get to go out there. So
feel like it
now
sounds
that we're
amazing.
going, can you kind of just give us like a backstory of like what was kind of the inspiration of starting this whole thing?
Yeah, for sure. I am. So I started my restaurant in 2007. So I was a building contractor, and I went from being a successful building contractor, started with the food trailer in 2007. It was
Okay.
a dream of mine to have a fish taco place. And then the recession hit pretty hard, like 2008, 9, 10 was pretty rough in business, right? So especially where I live. So construction really died off. I got this restaurant that's not making money. I'm trying to build this restaurant. I had to learn quickly about guerrilla marketing, right? So I started doing music festivals, and I was really intrigued by a Coachella Music Festival and Stagecoach about the festival aspect. And so 2009, the restaurant had been open for a year, and a couple guys that come in the restaurant all the time are in bands. They were basically looking for a way to find a place for the bands to play, right? They said, you should block off your street and do this old school block party where you block. They used to do that in Southern California. You block your street off and you'd have bands and you'd have a block party. So we had music and we had a block party. And then I realized something else has to happen during the day, not just, music all day long from 10 in the morning till 10 at night, 2 days. And so I was going to do horseshoes. This is 2009.
Okay.
And my buddy's like, why don't you do cornhole? So we, believe it or not, I had a friend of mine's dad that he was from the Midwest, and in the early 90s, we were going to the lake, and he would bring his plywood cornhole boards and his bags made out of Levi's with corn. And we were playing cornhole back in the 90s. So I decided it's a good idea. So we had I think the first year, I'm just guessing now, it's been so long, but it was roughly like a 24 team or 32 team cornhole tournament in the street in California, like 2009. And we sold it out and everybody loved it. And the more I went to Coachella and the music festivals, the more I was intrigued by the experience, the more I wanted to build what I was doing. And that's just how it all came about.
Love it.
Did you ever imagine it's going to become like the largest cornhole tournament in the world?
And at the beginning, when I first started, no, but within a few years, I'm very driven, and I realized like 2000, probably 12, 13, I started realizing like, wow, this is a pretty special, once again, like going back to those experiences, like this could be really something special. And I just got a passion for it. So I think from pretty near the very beginnings of it, I think I did have that drive too. But would I ever imagine it become what it's become? No way. Like who would have thought we could have taken it to where it's at. And sometimes I have to realize I'm always so driven to do better. I got to realize what we've already created, right?
No,
it's pretty amazing.
Step away and kind of like give yourself a little pat on the back.
Yeah, and like you also caught fire in a bottle too, because like you kind of started this before like professional cornhole got on the main scene. So it's only like catapulted tenfold over the last like 5-6 years. I could imagine, just because cornhole's blown up.
Yes, it has. It has. And it's amazing that in the beginning, I mean, we still have a few guys that have played, Matt Phillips and John Benner and the local guys in Ventura. They've played since, the very first one, right? And they've watched it progress. And I remember when David and I, David's like my fact checker sitting over here, like, on a podcast. I remember when I went by myself the second time to meet with Trey and Stacy with the ACL. And Stacy, there's a lot of funny stories, but I don't think Stacy realized, like when we sat down and I brought all the content to show Stacy how this manifested from the very first year and how it built up. And I don't think Stacy realized until he saw those videos. I'll never forget. He's seeing these guys on my videos from 2010 and 11, and he's looking at Trey like, oh, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. I don't think Stacy realized, like, these guys that are pros now have been playing in this tournament, the Throwdown, before the ACL even existed.
Yeah.
And they were pros, right? That's pretty magical to think that we still have these guys, a lot of these guys coming, and David's better with the names and who they were, but like, obviously Isidro and Wins, I'm trying to think, Hissner and Ryan Windsor and guys that were, there's a lot of, we could go through a bunch of names of guys that were coming. That's pretty cool. And we've all built this together. I don't, really this has become so magical because of everybody involved. And all those guys are special to me that, they came in the beginning and still come. And Dave and I, David's sitting off to the side, but it's a partnership. We built this together. It's not just me. I haven't got where it's at because of myself.
You just like to talk, so you get the
spotlight.
I'm a good talker. David's a doer, right? So I come up with the crazy ideas and he executes it.
And for the record, you did mention you had funny stories with Stacy. Feel free to shout them out at any time on here. All right, we have no affiliation.
we'll get into one. We'll get into one at some point. But anyway, so yeah, but it is amazing to think it went from 24 teams to 32 to at one point on the street, I think it was 128 teams roughly. We outgrew the street. Then we take it to the park down the street. We took it to 220 some teams, I think. And then, which that was like huge at that time, like in 2000.
Yeah, that's massive.
Yeah,
that was massive. So yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I think it's very cool that we're kind of seeing like the grassroots of cornhole.
Absolutely.
I mean? And I think that cornhole, like, although some of us like feel like it's been around forever, it's still such a new phenomenon that I'm trying to appreciate looking back and being like you mentioning guys that are now pros that are still actively playing. Like, it's cool that like, oh, we've like not even only had them on the show, but like, oh, we're like friends with them now. We're friends with like the OGs. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So 100 years from now, if this game's still going, like we can say like, oh, we were there in the beginning.
No, that guy. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yep. He's on our show.
Popping up out of the grave saying that like Jeremiah Ellis could have whooped whoever is like number one in the country like that. Yeah.
I did have a great thought though.
Okay.
So
please.
for our content when we're down there, maybe we get a list of like the OGs, like who's been around the longest, and that's who we interview.
Oh, that'd be
who
fun.
has the most Spencer's experience.
Well, I would imagine it's going to be like Hissner and Henderson have got to be two of them. Got to been out there, like you said, Isidro.
Sure.
I mean, if you want to go real old,
but even non-pros, I want some of the locals on.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jamie Graham.
Jamie Graham. We had Frank Modlin. All those guys have been going out there forever.
Frank Modlin. Yeah,
I'll only bring Jamie Graham on if he guzzles a glizzy for us before he hops on.
If he what?
He'll know what it means.
So I got a good so Bob Vaughn. She brought Bob Vaughn.
Yes.
All right. So his nickname, my nickname for him is the Assassin.
Yes.
Because he looks like he looks like a guy that, by day he's cornhole pro and maybe an accountant, but at night you have no idea.
Yeah, correct.
All right. He's an enigma.
It's perfect. It's like the perfect cover story.
So the first year, Bob, I think, and Bob has been coming for quite a while. I mean, this goes back. I'd have to guess, but I'm thinking maybe 2015. So Bob's playing with one of my buddies where I live. My buddy comes up because I'm a huge deer hunter, and he goes, "You got to meet this guy, Bob Vaughn. He shoots all these big deer." And I'm thinking, okay, anybody that shoots big deer that has property, I need to talk to this guy.
Yeah, case in point, the assassin. Just saying.
So me and Bob start talking, and we just hit it. Honestly, we just genuinely hit it off. Like we talked the weekend and had a great time talking with each other. And he's getting ready to leave the last night, and he goes, "You should come out and hunt at my place sometime." And I said, "Well, I'd love to do that." I go, "When's your season?" He goes, in 3 weeks. You want to come? I'm like, in 3 weeks, that's kind of short notice, but I did. Because I'm a deer hunter. I'm taking every opportunity. But we became good friends, over the years. And I call him Uncle Bob, but Bob's salt of the earth, right? Like he's just a salt of the earth.
Yes, he is.
Person. Great guy. And when you have a business and you want people that you're, that are promoting you, and you want people around you that are going to represent you as, the proper way also, right? And you don't have to worry about, Bob's just a good dude.
Yeah, I've had a few brief interactions with him, and he's put an imprint on me. So like that just tells you he's just a good guy. Like he's like you said, salt of the earth. Very good description.
And there's a lot of guys like that in cornhole. There's a lot of different personalities.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yes,
but they all those different personalities. I've become friends with so many people across, and that's what people in Ventura love about when this was growing. It was a big deal to people in Ventura to meet these guys from, Indiana and Iowa and North Carolina. It was a big, and it still is a big deal because it's cool to meet people from areas that you've never, we've never been out there. A lot of them never been to California, just like Jason McCann. Me and Jason talk a lot. And
I'm sorry.
Cornhole is permanent in business. I know. I said the same
thing. Do you get to talk too?
I can't imagine a conversation between you two.
Take the business out of it, and if Cornhole went away today, and I told Jason, you know what, Fire Cornhole is not going to be a certified bag company this year, we would still be friends because our friendship goes beyond business, and that's how I look at everything I've done with this Cornhole tournament.
So you've met a lot of personalities. I'm just going to name one name, and I just want to see if you have a reaction. Tony Rinaldi.
Tony Rinaldi.
All
What's
right.
my reaction supposed to be?
Hasn't imprinted on you yet.
Okay.
Consider yourself lucky.
Good.
Okay.
It'll happen at some point.
How many participants do you guys typically have every year?
So every year it's grown. The year of COVID when it couldn't happen, we had sold out. It was something like it was going to be at the park. And I think we sold 660 teams in 60 minutes. It was crazy.
Wow.
And then COVID happened and we couldn't have it. And so I did a small little championship thing and flew out just the previous winners. So the next year after COVID, 2022, the city we live in, even though we live in California, unfortunately, it's a difficult state for certain things.
Correct.
So they open up, they say it's 2021. We're kind of coming out of COVID. And they say, we're going to lift the restrictions on large gatherings and we're going to allow large gatherings. Well, the governor said that. But then our city said, well, we're not going to lift our own restriction until after the summer's over. So the way that I was able to have the event that year was the fairgrounds is state property. And my friend had a venue there and he said, hey, why don't you come to the fairgrounds? It's state property. City can't regulate it and you can have your tournament. And so I did. And that year was a year when I realized I can finally do what I really want to do. I have the space. So I can turn this into the real festival I want and add more experiences. And we went to, that was going to be 1,000 teams. We had pretty much 1,000 teams sign up, but it was still during COVID and a bunch of people were nervous to fly, afraid that they're going to get stuck in California, afraid they're going to shut the tournament down the day that they got there. And I think
it's Cleveland Open all over again.
We still had 600 and some teams show up for that tournament, even through all that. So last year we were going to go to 1,200. So we were going to go to 1,288 teams. We ended up having about 1,080 to 1,100 teams sign up. So this year we decided, let's go back. Now we know the sweet spot, right? We know that we can sell 1,000 teams. So this year we took it to 1,088 teams.
Okay.
And it'll be sold out. It's lagging. It's lagging a little bit. Guys are procrastinating. Even the local guys are procrastinating a little bit. But
doesn't that drive you crazy?
And that's why you're hopping on a podcast.
Yeah,
let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, go. Just
sell some
go
spots.
register.
So 1,088 teams. I feel like that's our sweet spot, because we're not only focused on things evolve, and I'm focused on this big cornhole tournament, but then I'm also focused on a cornhole festival and experience.
Correct.
So
Yes.
we have a huge mega blind draw area that people can come all weekend long. There's 24 courts. I think we'll be running like 4 games at a time all day long, all weekend long. And so your friend can come with you that's not in the tournament and hang out and watch and jump in a blind draw for $10 and win certified bags and win prizes.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, there's a lot of people that want to just come be a part of it, but it's
Yeah, absolutely.
they're a little bit hesitant of spending the money and getting in a tournament that they think they can't. But it goes into brackets, the A and B and the C. So you get C on Saturday. But yeah,
I like that. So obviously with a big event like this, there's got to be some like logistical challenges you got to be faced like when you're organizing something like this. Does anything come to mind?
so I literally start the day after I break down, taking notes, figuring out what do better, what did I like, so logistically the difficult thing is changing locations a couple times in a row and then having to relay it out, right? So a cornhole tournament's really, when you've got this big blanket of space, and it's not like, hey, let's go throw a bunch of boards out there and put a bar over here, and if it doesn't fit, when you lay out a cornhole tournament like on this magnitude with 160 sets of boards, my layout is on AutoCAD now to scale to the inch, because you start putting everything out, all of a sudden you run out of room. It's crazy how big the area is, and you're going to see when you get there how we fill it up.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. It's too bad David couldn't give you I don't know if he would be able to show you a snapshot of the layout, but I spend weeks to months just on the layout to get it perfect. So
I could imagine.
I don't think people could really realize how difficult it is to get to that final. I mean, every single thing in that event, I put my finger on where every banner is going to go, where every trash can is going to go. I mean, it's pretty intense.
When you're speaking my language, the world that I'm in is events. And like when you hear the stuff, like the detail that goes into like a PGA tournament or something, it is down to the minute detail of everything that you need. And like you said, it is mapped out to the inch, and like everything's got to fit when it arrives. Otherwise you're SOL.
And it all comes down to experience. My ultimate goal is to blow people's minds when they come. I don't want it to be, they're showing up to a parking lot with a bunch of asphalt and cornhole boards thrown out there. That's, I think you guys will see when you get there for the first time, you walk through that gate. My whole thing is first impression. Because wow, that sets you off to be like, this is going to be a great weekend. If you walk in and like, wow, this looks, this ain't too great looking, then you're going to have that. You got to pump it up, right?
Because you only get one shot at that, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Because like if I went to the world's biggest cornhole tournament, and you walk in, like you said, and there's like 10 sets of boards over in a parking lot.
I better be going 6 to midnight as soon as I step through that.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and my brain never stops thinking. So last year, for the first time, we had Sonny Lepford, is a good friend of mine, lives in North Carolina. He's become a good friend of mine. He's a national act. He's toured forever. He did an album for the PBR.
Okay.
So last year we put a stage or just a small deck out at the entry, because you got to realize when people come to Saturday morning, for sure, you got 5,000 people standing waiting for the gate to open. So we put a DJ set out there. So Sonny's out there in the crowd DJing, pumping everybody up while they're waiting to come in. That's where the experience starts, right? You're sitting in line with the DJ talking to you. keeping people entertained. That's your first engagement before you even walk through the gates.
How much of a process was it to agree to, because it's a big deal. Like when you agree to go with the ACL, right? And adding a broadcast element kind of changes it a little bit. I mean, how much extra planning goes into that? Or like, you kind of just let them handle that aspect and they just require X amount of space?
Well, so I think it's a really good partnership with the ACL and how it all played out. So my dream, I don't know how far it goes back. David would know. I probably started talking about wanting to get this televised in 2011.
Okay.
Like we actually reached out to ESPN, and back then they're like, "Oh, we don't allow drinking on TV, on TV." And so, the beauty of it is, I think the first year we did it with the ACL, it was out in the parking lot, and it was a venue that they set up temporary for concerts, and they were a little bit hesitant because this is outdoor, and you're filming, and it's outdoors, and now they're used to the East Coast to where there's a lot. Weather's not as stable as California. I mean, although it rained 2 inches before my tournament last year, the night before the night before I started setting up, that never ever happens. But so they were a little bit nervous. We had this big, huge, massive tent set up that was really cool, and all the broadcast was inside there. It was all, we had generators, and so that was a little bit of a learning curve. But
okay.
But after the first day they came to set up, everything was so dialed in, and the ACL was so, at ease with this is not, they got their act together, we got our act together. It's a very easy, smooth transition for sure.
That's good.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wasn't expecting that. It's not easy. It's like the sheer infrastructure to put on something like that is,
sure.
it's a lot that
Well,
goes
like
into
internet
it.
capabilities, all that stuff. I mean, it takes a lot to be able to do for TV.
The good news is I was a building contractor, but the great thing was they gave me the specifications, what they needed for power and for internet, and we provided that. But they're so pro at what they do. They show the production is all on them. So all I had to worry about is give me this much power and this much internet, and then I look like I did something. I didn't do anything, right? to a sense. So we could have never, honestly, I could have never pulled that off without the ACL. I mean, I learned myself, I was over my head trying to think I was going to bring ESPN here and do a broadcast. Trust me, it's not as simple as people think.
So this has been going on for a while. So what's been like a moment that's kind of happened during the event that's kind of like resonated with you, kind of stuck out in your head?
A moment as far as the tournament goes?
Yeah, we'll make it easy on you. Tournament.
Well, I think one of the best moments for me through the years of the tournament was in 2017? 2017 actually is the year that I became friends with Bob.
Okay.
And Dave, somebody was trying to reach out to us on Facebook. This Instagram's really not even happening yet back then, right? And said, "Hey, my friends are playing in the finals. Is there a way you could stream this? We're at a bar." And David comes to me and he says, "Hey, these guys want us to stream it because I don't know what to do. I don't, and then he comes back to me and he goes, "There's this new thing called Facebook Live." He goes, "It's a new thing, right?" And so nobody had ever live streamed that I know of. Nobody had really live streamed a cornhole tournament like that. So we live streamed it. And so there was an A and a B bracket. And guys sandbagged that year because they realized we got a better chance of winning this $2,500 in the B bracket than we win the big prize in the A bracket, right? Mm-hmm. So there was a team that had won a big tournament in Florida and miraculously didn't win a game in pool play on Saturday. So they ended up in the B bracket. And Jesse Segovia, who helps me run all of my mega blind draws, he runs Santa Paula Cornhole. Jesse had just really only been playing cornhole for a little while, and he was into it. He started getting better and better. Jesse, that weekend, literally progressed in cornhole tenfold from the first day of the tournament they made it to the final game. This is a guy that's been playing cornhole for how long was Jesse playing for? 6 months? A year, maybe?
Yeah, about 6 months.
6 months. They make it to the finals. They had to double dip that team. This is a team that just won a big tournament.
Well, who was that? Who was that team?
Do you remember the name of the team? We don't know. We'd have to research. I really don't know.
Out of
So
Florida.
the town, and my focus all along was I want to make this a spectator sport. I don't want this just to be people are coming to play cornhole. I want more people to be watching, right? And that was I've been pushing that for several years. Well, it was really warm outside that year, and so there's good videos of it we could pull up. But so they make it to that final game. Well, everybody knows he's going to be in it. Now they're calling all their cousins and their friends, like, we're in the final game, and people are driving to my event to come watch. And we have this huge crowd all around the courts, and they're throwing the bag, and then the crowd's going, whoa, ah! They had to double dip them. Jesse, they double dipped that team and beat them.
I love it.
And that to me was just
And that's
like,
the B bracket.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of cornhole.
Oh, that's
B
exactly.
bracket, but it was just like, to me, it was like the biggest upset, dark horse. It just, I don't know, for some reason that one really sticks out. Like,
I like that.
because it was a hometown thing, right? It was a hometown thing. And I'm not kidding you. People were driving from 20 miles away to get there to watch this match because they knew that they were going to, be in this, in the final game.
Okay.
So I think that's one of my biggest moments. I think so.
So you run this massive cornhole festival, right? You're having over 1,000 teams there. We know you like to deer hunt, right? We know that you like to fish. Do you play cornhole?
You're going to see a video of me and Chuck Liddell playing at my house. It's going to be on our social media.
Nice.
And so we had Andrew Labrador, Nick Williams came over, and I had some of the local guys.
I'm sorry.
We
Like again.
we filmed it. I know.
Jeez, oh
We
man.
did we had Sean Latham. We did this barbecue. We did a blind draw, right?
Okay.
So somehow Jesse miraculously made me and Chuck be partners. I don't know how that happened. So Chuck and I did this video because we were the first ones to be out of the tournament. So we went down my slide into my pool swimming. So I'm the kind of cornhole. I'm the typical cornhole player that all of a sudden I have a good night. I'm going to go to the Throwdown. I can freaking compete with all these guys. And then I get to the Throwdown. I can't put the bags on the board. That's
Correct.
me. So that's my level of play. I don't play that often. I love it, but I'm not that great, but I really enjoy it. So
You're not alone, sir. We're very much there with you.
So I'm
big
interested.
moment this year is going to be me playing Stacy. Stacy and I played a game and he beat me.
Okay.
I think it might have been a $500 game. I can't remember,
Ooh, all right.
but that was at the end of the night after a little bit of drinking. So this year I'm
Do it a little later after even more drinking.
I'm coming after Stacy this year. I want my money back.
So I'm interested. You do something that's pretty unique in the cornhole world where, like in terms of equipment for a cornhole, we don't really need a lot, right? You need a bunch of boards, but you need bags too. So you require a certain series of bags to be thrown at your tournament. What was the thought process behind all that stuff early on? At least people have a little bit more variety now, but we've heard stories about, people showing up and praying that they get a set that might have been like stepped on a few times. So it's a little bit more broken in and guys going crazy to try to break these freaking bags in. So what was the thought process behind that? And do you wish it was still back to where everyone had to throw the same bag same day?
Well, I'll give you a little bag history real quick of the whole. So when we started the first year that I did this, we didn't even know how to run a cornhole tournament. David wasn't involved yet then. So my brother's friends called him Game Boy because he's always, playing chess or dominoes or washers in his backyard. So I asked my brother, hey, would you help me do this, tournament? So I started researching cornhole like that. So back in 2009, there was nobody, you couldn't buy bags and you couldn't buy boards on the internet.
Okay.
Nobody, there was nowhere to buy it. So we looked up what's a certified board, we bought the right material. We made our own boards. Obviously they didn't have bracing in them. Everything's evolved so much. Bags, we got the dimensions and the weight, and I went to a local fabricator in Ventura that made sails and awnings. And I went to the lady and said, hey, can you make me, this many sets of this bag? And I went and got corn to put in it, right?
Yeah.
So she makes the bags. I gave her popcorn. I brought her back. I went to Smart and Final the grocery store, and I bought a bag of corn, but it was popcorn. So they were really stiff, and they were pretty close to being the right size, but the guys were throwing them on the ground to try to break them in. And I'm thinking, like, all of a sudden, halfway through the day, like, why are the bags coming apart? Like, why are this lady's good at sewing, but they were throwing them on the ground to break them in. The next year, it actually got worse. The next year, she made them, and they were like not shaped properly.
Okay.
And so the third year, Matt Phillips, the one that I mentioned, has been there every year. Matt says, let us make the bags. He goes, John and I, we can make the bags. John's wife sews, and we can. So the third year, I think they actually found somebody on the internet, and we bought the actual bag, and then they filled them and they sewed them up.
Okay.
And that year, Ken Jones came to me and said, you should use a bag. This is when things are starting to evolve, right? And Ken says, you need to use a bag like this. And he shows me a bag that's got two sides, a slow and a fast side.
Yeah.
And so the next year, Joe from OVC ran the tournament and had got me some bags from somebody that I bought from him. And then, so I think in like 2017, I somehow got connected with Chad with All Cornhole. And Chad said, I'll sponsor the bags. I'll give you all the bags and I'll sponsor. I think it's 2016, 17. So all the bags are All Cornhole bags.
They were slide rights for those of you, for all the cornhole nerds out there.
Slide rights. And then we did that for several years with Chad. Well, then I started getting, as it evolved, right now it's getting bigger. Then you started getting the chatter from guys. Now you're getting into 2019, where now you have a lot more companies and you have pros, and you got guys that want to throw the bag that they're sponsored by. And Matty King, who had Draggin Bags, he's a local guy.
Yeah.
And here I'm using All Cornhole, and I'm not supporting a local guy. And I thought that's how it came about. I said, you know what? Maybe what I should do is in 2019, I had asked several bag companies, would you be a sponsor and just donate a couple sets of bags?
Mm-hmm.
And raffle them off, give me an opportunity to make a little bit of money. I'll raffle them off. You'd be a sponsor. We got nobody to send us bags. Now here comes COVID in 2020. Bag thing explodes, right? 2021, everybody wants to be my sponsor. And so 2021, I had that's when we started building this big mega blind draw where you can pay $10 and win prizes. I had 16 companies donate bags.
Okay.
And more and more people are saying, why don't you give us a choice? Why don't you let some other bag companies be involved? And so I went to Chad, and Chad and I became really good friends. And Chad's a really good businessman. I really envied the way that Chad does business. And Chad, I said, what do you think, Chad? You've supported me greatly. I really appreciate everything you've done. But what do you think if we allow some other bag companies? And he agreed. And I said, here's how I think I should do it. The 16 companies last year that supported me, I should give those 16 teams the opportunity to be certified bags because they supported me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how the program started. Now, so we do it. And 2 years previously, guys are like, we should have other bags. Then all of a sudden I do it. And then you start having people chatter, I wish you went back to one company. So
of course.
Just flip flop. No one will be happy.
You can't please everybody. But I really think it was a great decision based on now as a businessman. And I think now you've got multiple companies promoting you. You're promoting them. You do have some guys that are traveling that are doing this for a living that have sponsors that gives them an opportunity to use the bag that they're throwing to be on TV. And so you're never going to please everybody. Like you said, there's, the same guys that told me you should allow more bags are probably the same guys now that told me I wish you went back to just one company.
100%.
But I mean, what are your opinions?
No, honestly, I don't mind how it's set up now because I feel like it's a win-win for like everyone in the side of business, right? Like the bag manufacturers are happy, right? You're happy because like they're paying basically to put your logo or a design on, like to use like the Throwdown on their bag. You know what I mean? So everyone should be happy. I mean, the bag manufacturers are paying you to do it because like obviously it's almost like guaranteed sales.
Yeah, and they have enough notice that like players such as ourselves can get those bags in, break them in the way we want to, and then show up and feel confident. in the tournament.
I do love the idea though of having the world's biggest cornhole tournament with one bag. You know what I mean? Like where everyone shows up, you're like, who can deal with the elements the best, who can handle a little adversity. I think it'd be really interesting to see, but I can't fault you. Like when it gets this big, listen, everyone make their money like everyone else is, right? You know what I mean? The way I look at it, I think it's a smart business move on your part.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so going back to it, we learned we probably should have maybe conditioned. It's hard. How are you going to condition 128 sets of bags when you get them 2 weeks before an event, right?
Yeah.
But the whole thing was, like I said, going back to Maddie here, I really want to support everybody in cornhole in the community. And I want to, obviously I can't have every bag out there be a certified bag, but
correct.
I thought about it like, Maddie is a local guy and who started coming to my tournament in the very beginning. Why not give him an opportunity to be part of this event when he's from the town where it started? And, and just trying to get, like I said, I really trying to get everybody in cornhole be non-biased and really support everybody. And so I really think it has become, and it's a better opportunity for me. People don't realize, like we talked about a little bit about putting this event on. People think, oh, John's making millions of dollars off of this. And he's making money off bags. And like, if I didn't do these things with the bag companies, I couldn't cover the cost of the event supersedes the income that comes in. I mean, it takes a lot to put this on. So
no matter what you do, people are going to complain though. I mean,
it gives me an opportunity to make some revenue. And it also gives, my whole thing with the bag program is, because we talked about the guerrilla marketing when I first started my restaurant. I think if a bag company can come in and have maybe not make any money at all, but if they can come in and be a certified bag of the tournament and get the exposure and have people throwing them, and they have to give me a percentage, you have to pay to be in the program. But if they completely broke even, where can you get that kind of exposure for free?
Well, I think it's huge for companies that are not West Coast based too. So like obviously West Coast, you're going to be like dominated by like Ultra. You're going to have a lot of Draggin Bag throwers. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have certain big bag companies, but smaller East Coast kind of bag companies, like, they would benefit. Guys out there might see a bag for the first time that they've typically might not have tried just because, I mean, it's just
they can
no one else around them had it, kind of thing.
And also, you don't have to. It's not that I force people to buy bags, because you don't have to buy bags. If you don't want to buy a set of bags, you can check out a set of tournament bags with the Throwdown logo on them, and they're all they were all cornhole last year and fire, so we're using the same bags again this year. So. If you don't want to buy bags because it's a financial thing, you don't have to. It's not like I'm forcing you to buy bags. You can put your driver's license up, and get a set of bags and play. And then, but one thing that happened, going back to another one of the reasons why we did this, was in 2019 at the park. Last year we did it at the park. We were all excited. Joe had everything set up. We're ready to go. The gates open at 4:00. We got the boards up. We got bags on the boards. Let's open the gates. 9:00 at night, Joe's like, we're missing 19 sets of bags.
Oh,
19 full, sets of bags already right now. If we don't get these bags back, we don't have enough bags for the tournament. And it was so much work putting those bags out, accounting for them, getting them back. It was a nightmare.
Oh, I could only imagine.
Logistically, as the guys bringing their own bags, it was so much easier for the tournament on our end. Can you imagine?
That shit's heavy, man.
we made an announcement. And we ended up getting back all but 2 sets that walked away. It's kind of sad that you have to worry about that happening, but it did, and it would happen.
Those black market sets.
It's very true.
They're probably somewhere. Yeah, they're probably somewhere on the Facebook Marketplace. Track them down for you. We'll find it. So I got to. All right. So
what bags do you guys? I want to ask real quickly. What bags do you guys? So I see.
So we're currently Draggin Bags right now. So they're a sponsor of our show. So Draggin Bag, specifically the Power Dragon, is what we throw primarily. So we're undecided. We might be one of those last minute like registrations kind of thing, but we're also going down there because it's a huge content opportunity for us, like with that many people. So, but the fact that you said that there's blind draws going all day, I'm like, all right, maybe I won't play in the big tournament, and we'll just
get into that. And let the big boys play.
So I've been following you guys.
Let's go sign up and win the whole thing, Sean.
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
So my take on that, so I tell everybody this. So my take on, I fish bass tournaments. I've said this millions of times. When I go just fish a small bass tournament at my lake,
Yeah.
me and my partner pay $340. $340 for an 8-hour tournament. And typically it's just almost like cornhole. It's the same thing. For the most part, when you've got a smaller group of guys, whether it's 20 or 60,
Yeah.
it's typically the same guys that, are in the top typically.
Always. Yeah.
And, the circuit that I fish, the same guys always come. And if they come in the top 10 once, they're like thrilled. I've been pretty fortunate to have a lot of good finishes, but they're thrilled and it's their hobby and they love it. And so, you got the cost of a bass tournament versus a cornhole. So when I just did I did the MLF Toyota Series. It's a 3-day tournament. So it's 2 days. You have the top 25 go on to day 3. So that cost me $1,800 to sign up to fish for 2 days, hoping that I would make the top 25 cut to fish on day 3. Luckily, I made the top. I actually came in 13th. I made the top 25. And so I guaranteed a check. But think about it, $1,800 to fish.
Oh yeah.
For
I mean, that's another night at the
Okay.
hotel. You know what I mean? Like it all adds up.
But it's exciting because I've got to fish against guys I see on TV, and I got to compete against those guys. And to me, just that experience and learning. Well, I tell people, hey, for $350, you're splitting it with your partner. It's like going to a camp where you get to play basketball with Michael Jordan for the weekend, or you get to play baseball with, say Babe Ruth. Or
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at the experience you get to go play with these guys and enjoy it and learn. And then hopefully you get put in the right bracket. And if you are a C player, you end up in the C bracket and you're competitive. And if you are a B player, you end up in the B and you're competitive.
Yeah.
And in the A, I mean, I know the guys that are the best of the best in the world are the best of the best, but the way cornhole is, you never know. I mean, there's guys that have gotten good really quick, just like
100%.
And it gives a local guy a chance to actually make a run at it. And to them, a 20th place is a win. Like for me in that MLF, 13th place to me was like winning. Like honestly, I had that same feeling. Like,
Dude, with 1,000 teams, like you've placed in the top 300, you're like, fucking, I dominated this weekend.
I am phenomenal.
the thing that we created, what really made the lure, well, number one, we pay a very high payout, right?
Yeah.
But I also emulated it to tournament bass fishing in a sense. The tournaments that I like is paying deep. So it's not like you're just, I try to pay really deep. So you were paying down like 64 spots or whatever. It's like 1 in 8 or so. It's not like there's 64 teams, only pays 1 through 3rd.
Yeah.
You got in the A bracket, I don't know how all the payouts here, but in the A bracket, like last year, like 30th place was still winning $2,500.
Yeah.
$25. So it pays really deep. So you have a chance to get your money back. Another thing that you're going to be the first ones to hear about it, because we haven't even announced it yet, but
yes.
I hear it on here.
Exclusive.
I'm all about giving the experience, right? So I told David, I thought about this idea. I said, how about, and I told Nick Williams about it, and I want to see his reaction. I said, this year, everybody that's in the tournament that signs up, we used to do in the beginning, like way back in the day in 2009 or 10, everybody that signed up got a chance at a long toss. We put boards out like it might have been 60 feet or something. It was pretty far.
Yeah.
And whoever, they got 4 bags, and whoever made it in the hole got $100 bill. And I think the one year only one guy made it in the hole. So I told David, I said, I want to go back to that, because I feel like I was one of the first people to ever do a long toss. So I said, everybody in the tournament this year, except for the pros, I don't want to hurt their feelings, but I want to give everybody a chance to win some money.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody in the tournament is going to get a chance. We're putting a course up in front of the main stage and the VIP bar, and we're going to put out 2 mini boards, and then a board at regular distance, and then a long toss. And so now this eliminates even the guys that are better at cornhole than other guys, because you're going to get bags that throw at a mini board from 9 feet, bags that throw at a mini board from 14 feet. Then you get bags that throw at a regular, and whoever gets the most points, we're going to take on Saturday night, we're going to take like the top 12, and then they all get to battle against each other, and they're going to win $1,500.
Hell yeah.
So you get a chance to win $1,500. And it's not that you're playing a cornhole game against somebody from regular distance. It kind of eliminates it, but it gives them a chance to
Well, then
It
you
gives
go
them a
to
chance to-
you get to go on Facebook on Monday and be like, I just won Spencer McKenzie's the Throwdown this weekend.
Yeah,
Like you don't have to. There has to be. You know what I mean?
doesn't
Like
matter what event it was.
I mean, hey,
You won.
$1,500 just for joining.
Oh,
But I think
yeah.
it's cool. I just want to give the experience and the opportunities. And I really feel, like I said, I honestly feel like don't think about winning it. Think about I'm splitting it with my partner. It's $175 to play, to be in the tournament and get to be part of that experience. I get to play with a great group of people all day long, meet new people, play 8 games on Saturday. Then it's a double elimination. So that's a lot of getting to play cornhole.
Oh, yeah.
And then also you have all the big blind draws on Friday. So Friday we have all those additional blind draws you can sign up for to win money, a pro and a Joe and all the different stuff. But I personally, if cornhole was my thing and I wasn't that at the level I am, if it wasn't my tournament, I would go sign up for it every year to play in it, knowing that I'm not going to win, but knowing I'm going to go try to do my best and place the best I can and win in my mind, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, Sean, I
So-
think we're sold.
Well, it's just. I mean, for me, I do agree 100% with you, but for me, it's like I also have to like talk about this stuff.
Yeah, we
So-
do need content too.
Support the sponsors. So I've been seeing the bags rolling in, right? So everyone's starting to release their Spencer McKenzie designs. I'm assuming you've seen several of them. I'm interested. What have been some of your favorite designs? Like what bag makers just making them? Just you kind of dug it, yeah.
2024 certified tournament bags.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's there's a bunch of great designs. I think one that sticks out of my mind for some reason. The one that sticks out of my mind for some reason is the BG, the black one's kind of got the skull on it. I don't know why,
okay.
but I like that. It just looks cool. I like it. That one's really cool.
I'm trying to think.
To show us?
Selfishly, I like the newest ones from Draggin Bags, which was released. It's got the fish on it. Looks pretty sweet.
Oh, big fish, yeah.
We have we're actually reviewing before we brought you on in our episode. One of our favorite dudes is a guy from California. He is just a cool dude, and I love his designs all the time. It's Burley Bags.
Burley Bags.
Dude, I love his designs. Like,
yeah. And one thing about Burley Bags is part of this program of being a certified sponsor is networking and cross promoting, taking the opportunity, right? So I'm working really hard at building my exposure on my social media platform, and we're doing a lot of things this year. Maybe a thing we can talk about, but Burley Bags does the best job of captivating on being able to play off of us and making little TikToks and he's constantly doing cool little videos.
Hunter is awesome. Like he really is.
And he sells a lot of bags because of he's hustling at it. And some some manufacturers just have a very big name and they sell a lot of bags because they have a great bag and a great following. And Hunter sells a lot of bags. I think a lot of he's got a great bag, but he also puts his heart into really, really going that extra mile. Like I was on my phone. I saw another one he just did with the bicycle on the beach. It's like,
yeah, really
cool stuff, So,
well, he's funny. He's creative. He's up with trends. Like, he does a great job. And he's one of the few like non-stamped bag makers that like is still doing well because of like his customer service is awesome. I mean, he makes a really good bag.
He makes the best mini bag in the game.
Oh yeah, his mini
doubt.
bags are just ridiculous. Like everyone else should just stop making them.
Yeah,
at this point, I mean, truly. I mean, he makes them so well. So, so just again before we leave, I'm an idiot and I always forget about this stuff. What's the specific dates this year?
August 23rd to the 25th.
Okay, I was just making sure our flights were good.
Yeah, those are the right flights. We have the right dates in. We're good.
So, all right. So we're popping our Spencer's cherry this year. All right. So, two things. What advice would you give like new people going to the event for the first time?
Wear sunscreen. Wear sunscreen.
But everyone looks so like plump and red by day 3.
Well,
like,
so
I want that, Sean.
We have a lot. Honestly, wear sunscreen, but there's a lot of opportunity for shade, but you are standing in the sun playing cornhole, right?
Yeah.
I think
I'm trying not to take it personally. They like sunscreen, like you looked at us, like sunscreen.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, look at my face. I'm talking about myself personally.
I got you.
I was just at the fairgrounds this weekend for the X Games, and I was out in the sun all day. Got my face fried. But as new, I mean, I think the excitement. It's sometimes you're so excited to get somewhere, and then you get there, and it doesn't really meet your expectations, right? And then you leave there because you're so hyped up on it, and then you get there and you had a great time, but it was like you overhyped up yourself, right? I really truly feel like I try to do something that when you get there you weren't expecting it, so it took you to that level, right? So since we were on the podcast, and give a little some things that are new and happening. So I'm always trying to add experiences. So this year we're doing this live broadcast on Saturday. It's kind of like a super hole that ACL does, where they take a celebrity and a pro.
Yeah.
We're mainly using influencers.
Interesting.
How
California of you.
It's not actually not California influence. I mean, we're bringing influencers from all over the United States, but the thing about influencers are they're movie stars now. We have some really, like, if you do social media, there's some pretty big names in.
Are we allowed to say who these names are yet?
I can't say yet, but I can tell you that one of the girls has almost 60 million followers. Another one has 30 million followers.
Sweet.
One of the guys has 30
million. So JWoww and Snooki, we already saw this.
So and then I think I can. I mean, Shamar and David. You know, I think I can announce that because it seems like that's pretty much locked.
Yeah,
they're great guys. They love cornhole. They love my event, and as long as their schedules allow, David was there last year. Shamar couldn't be, but they're going to play in it.
Oh, yeah.
Chuck Liddell is going to play in it. Chuck is all about it. He loves it. So I think just knowing that it's a great week in the cornhole, but it's just a fun party. Come and enjoy it, and pace yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
One thing we haven't talked about, which is kind of a big deal, is the boards, because the boards are different this year. There's a whole evolution with the board companies that I've used, how I built them into this year. I have a brand new, that's been all cornhole the last couple years. And this year we have the X Factor. We did a collaboration with West Georgia Cornhole, Titan, and Fire that's co-branded. And so Jason helped me get this thing together, and so it's a brand new board. And my whole thing with the board is I'm loyal to people, but I also want to give opportunities to everybody in cornhole. So people, I really am trying to support everybody. And so it's pretty cool that I was able to do this year with West Georgia, and the boards they're phenomenal. I don't know if you've seen those X Factor boards yet.
Yeah. They're phenomenal.
They're insane.
They're the best. They are the best boards.
I have the X Factor mini boards, and it is just such a over manufactured item. I love it. Like, I could drive my truck.
It's like it's like a subtle flex.
Well, I love it.
Yeah, Brandon wanted. When I told him that we're doing this thing at my house, he said, "Have Chuck stand on him." I'm like, I'm not going to have Chuck stand on him, but they're amazing. They really truly are amazing boards. So
you could have Chuck drop a people's elbow on that thing and he would get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, that's.
So I think that's exciting for the event, because they're going to play really well out there in the, going back to your question, what to, be prepared for. There's elements, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not always windy. We had one really bad year when a lot of people showed up that had never been there, and it was really windy. But that wasn't normal that year. That was 2021. So yeah, we get some wind, but that one year was crazy. And last year, I don't think, David, the wind wasn't really bad. So you just gotta be prepared with when you're coming with your bags. A lot of people have a couple of different bags, because you could have it faster during the day. You could get a little moisture at night. You could want a different bag for the moisture, for the heat, for the maybe the wind. The 1 year, I think pretty sure it was Hissner. Was it Hissner on his knee? The 1 year the wind was gnarly.
If it's on your knees, it's definitely Adam.
Yeah,
like definitely.
He was on his knee. He was the only one doing it because it was like so gnarly windy. But I truly feel like my prediction for this year is, because the way that our weather's been this year, I think it's going to be beautiful, warm, calm weather this year. I mean, it can get cool at night, so be prepared.
Yeah.
A good tip is get prepared to buy a Throwdown sweatshirt.
Exactly.
That's my plug. So because it could get cool at night. Because you're coming to California, but it could still get. It's not going to get cold, but it could be cold where you feel like you want a sweater on. But
What's cool in California?
Yeah, like 60, 68.
what's cool?
Yeah, like 68.
Well, here's the deal. So it's maybe 60, but if it's a little windy, then that windy's a little chilly, right? So that's the difference.
We just tell those guys to suck it up.
Yeah, those are just glass cutters.
You guys are used to real cold, real conditions.
All right, so what I've been waiting like all episode to ask this, but I'm like, we can't just like throw it in the middle. Like it deserves. So obviously, like you guys are known like for having like I think like the third or fourth best like fish tacos like in your area or something. So can you talk to us about fish tacos? Give us like the lowdown of what we can expect because I'm fully doing. We're doing a review for sure on these fish tacos. Like we've heard good things about them. So
great, that's awesome. So this event started off to promote the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And as it evolved, it kind of, Spencer McKenzies is still the presenting sponsor. And the years that I didn't make money, and even last year I didn't make money, I always looked at it as my marketing budget for my business for Spencer McKenzie. So we have incredible sauces that we sell that you can buy online. Then we have our fish tacos were voted. David has all these accolades we've had. So our fish and shrimp burrito was voted the best fish and shrimp burrito in America by 1538.
I can't wait.
And I think we were voted the #1 fish taco in a magazine in California. I take pride in the restaurant, take pride in the food. So we use really high quality product. Everything's really fresh and we keep it really simple. And the tacos are really that's my opinion, but the tacos are amazing.
Listen, a large portion of our budget on this trip is going to be spent at your restaurant. So you'll make some money this year. I promise you on that. So
without a doubt. We're big boys. I don't know. It's hard to tell on camera, but we love us. Yeah, we love some food.
And
if skinny, if you see me going down the slide with Chuck, I'm bigger than Chuck now. I'm embarrassed by what I look like with my shirt off. Maybe we should all go on a diet together.
Listen, man, we can all.
If my diet's fish tacos, I'm game. I am game.
Cool.
So we're going to Throwdown this year.
Yes.
I don't think we've like really announced it. We're going to be setting up with Airwolf Athletics. All right, so we're kind of partnering up with Brandon. If you're an OG listener of the show, obviously he's been one of the first guys to kind of take a chance with us. Mm-hmm. He's become like a really good friend of ours. So we're going to be, if you're looking to find us, we're going to be hanging out with Brandon a lot at the Airwolf Athletics tent. So come buy some merch. We got some creative ideas. We're going to be recording an episode and stuff.
Of course.
So it should be fun. So we'll be wandering around there. And we're going to be trying fish tacos, eating too much, socializing, playing a little cornhole here or there.
Here and there.
My nephews, because their Uncle John, has got all this cornhole stuff. My nephew's Christmas present was my mini board, Airwolf boards.
Oh, dude.
Heck yeah.
I was just at their house last night. Yeah, so that's the mini boards they're playing at their house are their mini boards.
2 years ago, my dad got his Christmas present was cornhole boards. Mm-hmm. You use what you got. You know what I mean? Like you just use your connections. And I still have people almost probably every month at work. Like, do you still do the cornhole? Like, especially as summer gets there. Like, could I? I'm like, yeah. It's like I just go out to my trunk. I'm like, here you go. Just there you go. Like take them out of my car, please. Thank you. I don't need them anymore. So
cool.
John, this has been awesome, man. I can't wait to get out there and check out this event. I want to meet you in person. Obviously, I know you're gonna be busy that day and stuff, but we really look forward. So we're gonna let the folks at home go, but we'll have you hang on just for a minute. But thank you again for joining us. This has been awesome. It's been a long time coming, I think, and shout out to Spencer McKenzies. The Throwdown is coming up in August. If you haven't signed up yet and you're kind of back and forth on it, just go sign up now.
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah,
so
just
what's
go.
your excuse?
Like, let's
we're
go
finally
rock and
going.
roll, man.
It's time.
Let's go freaking party out in California together. Let's just enjoy this like epic event. It's not just a cornhole tournament.
Yes.
It's a festival, like you said. So thank you again for joining us, man. It was a lot of fun.
I appreciate it. And it's going to, like I said, it will, where we're at with the amount of teams already signed up, it's going to be sold out. Probably by August 1st, it'll be sold out.
Oh, yeah.
So,
awesome.
So get on it.
Yeah. So get on it.
Yeah.
Get on it. All right. So we'll have you hang on for just a minute. We'll let you folks go at home. So as always, we hope you throw it straight. That's nothing but four baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.
Recording stopped.